In this video, we're going to learn more about scanner inputs, operators, that's relational operators and logic operators, and conditional statements. So first, with the scanner, can you input two variables and print out the sum of these two variables? So first, let's comment what we did in the last tutorial. So remember multi-line comments, first a slash, then an asterisk, then an asterisk, and a slash, closing it. So remember we named our scanner in. So let's get the first input. So we can have int x, let's store it in x, in the next int. We can have int y equals to in dot next int. So we'll have two variables. So the first one will be stored in x, the next one y. After this, we want to store the sum of x and y in a variable called sum. Here we go. But before we do this, it's best if we first prompt the user to enter a value so they know they're expected to enter a value. So system.out.println enter the first number. System.out.println enter the second number. Doesn't need to go to the next line with a semicolon. So enter the first number, let's say 10. Enter the second number, let's say 11. So the reason it did not print out the sum is because we forgot to print out the sum. So first we need to do system.out.println, then maybe sum for a colon and concatenate the variable sum. Okay, so let's run this. Enter the first number and try 7, enter the second number 8, and sum 15. So now let's look at relational operators and logic operators. So I'm going to create a class checker to help us check if the input the user entered is above or below 18 to check if that user is an adult or minor. So to create a class, right click on src, new, then class, age checker. You can check the main method, click OK. Java has 6 relational operators used to test primitive or literal numerical values. Relational operators are used to evaluate if-else and loop conditions. We can have a relational operator like this, and put that in the comments, which means greater than. We can have this greater than sign and this equals to sign, which means greater than or equals to. We can also have the less for less than. We can have the less and equal to for less than or equal to. We can also have the double equal to check if two values are equal to each other. You can also have the not equal to, which means not equal, equal to. Java also has three logic operators used to combine Boolean expressions into complex tests. We have the double AND, which means AND. We have the OR, then we have the NOT. An if-else statement needs a Boolean condition or method that is tested for true or false. So you might have something like this, the if, to check if a condition is true or false, and the condition should go in these brackets. So it could return true, it could return false. We have different conditions or statements. So we have the if. If it's just if, the condition will be checked, and if the condition is true, the block of code is executed. With the else, if a condition is false, an else statement can be used to execute a block of code. We have the else if. If first condition is false, this is used to specify a new condition to test. With the switch, you can select one of many blocks to be executed. So with the if syntax, we have if, put this in a comment, we have if, the condition, and you can put something here. So let's say we want to check if a user is above or below 18. You can have a variable age. We can use a scanner class to get the inputs of the user's age. So let's say we create a scanner. Let's call it in equals to new scanner. So remember, to import scanner, you can hover your mouse over this, import scanner.java, import java.util.scanner, or you can simply write this here. So now, using the scanner, let's get an age from the console, and we're going to store that in a variable age. Int age equals to in.nextInt. Before we get the age from the console, we can tell the user to enter their age, so they know to enter their age. So remember, this should be in the console because it's a literal value you want to display. So let's say you have this, you have int age. So now let's say you want to check if this age is up to 18. So we need to check if it is greater than or equal to 18. So we have to put age greater than equals to 18 or age greater than 17. Remember, in this case, they're both the same thing. So if the age is greater than or equal to 18, we might want to do something. We can say system.out.println you are an adult. Here. Enter your age. You are an adult. If it's just one line that I want to specify, like let me say one statement, if the condition is true, I don't need this. If I have two, the second one will print regardless of whether or not age is true or false. Let's say I want to print hello, you are an adult. And I do this. And I type 17 here. This will print. So if you want to put two things after your if, you need to cover this with curly brackets. So you need a start right after this and an end here. So this is how the if condition works. You have the if, then in the bracket you have the condition, then you have your curly brackets, and then inside the curly brackets, between the opening curly bracket and the closing one, you can print out what you want if this condition is true. If it's true, it's going to print out you're an adult. Let's say we printed out 17, or we input 17. Nothing happens because we only stated it should print out you're an adult if this is greater than or equal to 18. So we have the else, which can print out something if this is false. So if we have the else, we can make something else happen if this is false. So you have the if like we had, and then this else, system.out.println, you are a minor. So enter your age, 17. So now it prints out you are a minor. So now we can also have the if else if ladder. So I'm going to show you that, and I'm also going to show you the logic operator and. So if the user is greater than or equal to 18, we might want to print out you're an adult. If they're between 13 and 18, we can print out you are a minor teen, and else we want to print out you are a minor. So to do that, after we check if the user is older than 18, is 18 or older, we can put another if else here. Here we have if else, else if, and the condition. So if here, then else if here, then this else will print out if this first two does not work. So if this, else if, we want to check if the user in the bracket is greater than or equal to 13 and less than 18. Then we want to print out you are a minor teen. Else, that means if this is false and this is false, it's going to come to the else, and this will work. So let's look at this else if again. So if this if does not work, if this condition is false, let's say the user inputs 17, this is going to come here. Else if, so if the age is greater than or equal to 13 and less than 18, we then want to print this out. So the and makes sure that this and this are true. If we would have used the or, it means just one of them will have to be false. First, let me show you and I'm going to show you the difference with the or. So enter your age, 17. You are a minor teen. Let me put another example. Enter your age, 8. You are a minor. Okay? So now let's run this with the or. So remember the and will check if both are true, but the or will just need one to be true. So with the and, 8 printed out you are a minor. Let's see what we'll print out when we put 8 with the or. You are a minor teen. That's because this condition here was true. Even though this one was false, this one was true. So this one printed out. So you need to put and if you want to make sure they are in between this and this if you want both to be true. To be a minor teen, you have to be 13 or older or less than 18. So that is the if else if example with the and the or. So now we can also see if with string method. So if you remember in another tutorial, in the previous tutorial, I told you about strings and some methods that strings can work with. So let's look at the equals method. So let's say I have a string, name1, and I have another string, name2 equals Khadija, but this time around without the H. If I want to check if what I have as the value of name1 and name2 are the same, I could use the dot equals method. So if name1 dot equals name2, I might want to print out they are equal. So let's print this. So the first one still prints out. I'm just going to print this. So nothing printed out because name1 is not equals to name2. So let's say I put Khadija for both of them. They are equal. This is because name1 and name2 are equal. So I'm just going to comment this now so it doesn't confuse us. I'm going to print this again. So it printed out they're equal because name1 and name2 are equal. So let's go to this other example. Khadija, name1 has a H, name2 does not have a H. So nothing happens because I didn't put an else to make sure something prints out if they're not equal. So I'm just going to show you how to use this not example. And to do that, we use this not. We can enclose in a bracket. So if name1 dot equals name2 not, we want to print out they're equal. So not simply means the opposite. If something is this, then it's not this. If something is this, then it's not that. So that is how this works. I also told you about the dot starts with method, which can have if, then in condition name1 dot starts with here we can have a string. Let me say KH. We might want to print out starts with KH. So let's run this. So if name1 dot starts with KH, we wanted to print out starts with KH. So it did not print out because I used a small letter K here and a capital K here. So K, there you go, starts with KH. So remember, if you want to check something like this, you can use the to lowercase, which we will see in our string example. So we can make sure it works for both a small letter and a capital letter. We'll see that with a switch example.